Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time you are watching. We are here with another episode of MY3. And today we have from up north, the one and only Mr. James Harvey. James, welcome to the show. Please introduce yourself. Tell the viewers all about yourself.
Thanks, Jamie. So I'm James Harvey. My Instagram is James_Harvey5. I'm from up north, which is a bit different to your other guest. I've been collecting sneakers now for like 2 years, so I'm pretty new to the game, to be honest. I got my first pair of Yeezys back in 2018, but after that I didn't really collect anything. It was sometime during 2019 where I got my first pair of like proper sneakers, and then that got me into the game. From there, I started a little group up in Manchester. So that's where I started like my sneaker expedition, where I started meeting people from the community, started to like move around, to just start meeting new people. And then obviously now I run a page called the Urban Syndicate. So in the Urban Syndicate, basically we have like sneaker meets and stuff. We talk about shoes and we help each other cop shoes. So that's kind of what I'm doing now, where obviously I'm kind of finding my feet and working out. Obviously, with a lot of the old heads coming into the group, basically what sneakers is all about, and finding all the lost history of stuff, of pairs that came from way before my time. I must admit, there's so many pairs that you just don't know about. So it's really interesting, especially meeting people like you who've got a bit of experience, and I just finding out about all the pairs that I've missed over the time.
Amazing, I love that. Yeah, well, the experience comes with age.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like the thing is with sneakers is like you get dropped into the deep end. So obviously you have to do everything everyone else is doing to try and get a pair. So obviously,
more.
Yeah,
especially in this day and age, it was slightly different years ago. But yeah, as yourself coming in the last couple of years, unfortunately, it's a dog-eat-dog world, and you just got to do what you can do to get what you want.
Well, it's a bit crazy. Like my first pair, I queued up for. So I queued up outside Foot Locker from about 5 a.m, and then after that, I kind of learned about like having to enter raffles and stuff, and then my look completely changed. I went from queuing up at 4 a.m to get my pair to taking L's left, right, and center.
We've all been there. But I appreciate your intro. Great to have you on board. And I love it that you've only been collecting a couple of years, because when I decided to create this whole show of MY3, it was open to everyone. And I remember you coming to me, I've only been collecting a couple of years. I haven't got as much heat as other people. It's not what this is about. It's about open to everybody, however long, however you've been in it for, whether your collection is hype, whether it's not hype, it doesn't matter. So we are going to crack off. We're going to go in reverse order. So first of all, I want you in a minute to show me your third sneaker. And I would like you to tell me about the sneaker, what the model is. If you don't mind me telling if you got it for retail or resale, you don't have to tell the price of resale if you don't want to, but if you do, that'd be great. And tell us about the sneaker. Tell us some history and some story about it, what it means to you.
So my first sneaker is this silhouette, which I'm pretty sure everyone will know what this shoe is. So this is the Jordan 1 Gym Red. I got this shoe in 2019 around February time when they released, I'm pretty sure it was. So what happened was I got my first pair of shoes, which was the Yeezy Zebra. Yeah. And then I didn't really take that much interest in shoes. And then these came out, and these just piqued my interest. And this is the shoe that really got me into the game. So I can't really explain what it is with the Jordan 1, but the second I saw it, it just piqued my interest. The colors, especially being quite like the Chicago colorway and being new to the game, obviously that was something that was a real lure to it. And obviously the fact that it's so versatile, with black and red being such an easy colorway to wear, yeah. It just seemed like a no-brainer at the time. So obviously one was I entered all the raffles for it, and I took L's. Like it was just L left, right, and center. Like I honestly I'd given up. It was about 3 days afterwards, and I met a couple of guys who I knew like shoes, and they were all like, "Oh, we've all taken L. Like there's no way getting it." So I went into Manchester with some of my mates, and we weren't looking for shoes. I just gone in there to have a look, and I went into Selfridges and Offspring in Manchester, and there was the last pair in a size 11 sat on the shelf. So I went in and I bit their arm off. Like I bought it straight away. Struck up a conversation with the woman at the desk, and honestly, I just fell in love with it ever since. It's it's a shoe I don't really wear anymore because, as you can probably see, like if you look at the toe box, I've absolutely destroyed it. I really didn't know how to wear shoes at first, so I tied them a bit tight. I've changed the laces about 20 times in them. They've had double laces in them. They've been beaten, destroyed. They're kind of a shoe that I own for sentimental reasons now, and not for the fact that it's a nice looking shoe. And like it's not pristine and it's been beat, but I really do love it. And it's just it kind of got me into my favorite silhouette, which although it isn't the Jordan 1, you'll see a lot of resemblance between the two.
No, fantastic. I think it's a great shoe to start with. Great story behind it. It's a Jordan 1. You can't go wrong with a Jordan 1. You know, it's stood the test of time, and it will continue to stand the test of time for the next 50 years coming. It's got a lot of rich history behind it. Of course, I'm sure you watched The Last Dance last year, which obviously brought the hype of the Jordan craze way back up again. And yeah, what a great story. And the fact that you went into Selfridges, Manchester, without wanting to buy it, and then obviously it's sitting on the shelf. We've all had those moments, and they are truly magical moments when you are.
Being a size 11, it was just crazy. Like I just didn't expect it, especially like because obviously all the hype had come about it, where like everyone was like teasing pictures, and obviously like back then I didn't really know what I was doing, so like I'd seen pictures of them but never seen them in real life, and then obviously when you see them, like it's just it's a surreal experience. You really can't explain it.
Yeah, and I know the feeling being a size 11 myself. So unfortunately, our size can be very difficult at times. And when that one or two pairs is sitting on a shelf, you just got to snap it up and take it.
It can be a real hit and miss. It really can.
Tell me about it. Great. Okay, so let's move on to your second shoe, please.
So my second pair is the Off-White Dunk Michigan. These are again, this was my first kind of look into this is my favorite silhouette of all time, the Dunk. This is a sports dunk, obviously, having the sports dunk. But I must admit, with the second I saw the shoe on the pictures, I just needed to have it. I couldn't explain it, that like the Michigan colorway had already been my favorite, and I was looking at buying a pair of the retro Michigan highs that were coming out. So obviously they came out sometime this year, which I picked up. But
back end of last year.
Yeah, but
2020.
But it's a bit crazy, isn't it? Sorry, but yeah. So
don't worry.
So obviously they'd been teased, and then these have been teased as well. So I'd fallen in love with the Michigan colorway, so I knew I had to have them. So again, took L's on the drop. So I ended up paying resale, which is $350 at the time. But obviously, I don't begrudge it, because obviously it was a shoe that I wanted, and you pay what you have to, especially being an Off-White shoe, which is a bit of a hyped collab. You've just got to fork it out, haven't you? So you'll probably notice the laces on the top aren't right. They're not the peach ones.
Yeah, you when I switched them.
Yeah, when I got them, I didn't quite like the peach lace. I thought it was a bit tacky with the yellow. So I got the laces from the basement the basement Air Max 90s, and switched them over.
Yeah, was that the that must have been the Manchester basement 90s with that colorway, yeah?
Yeah, well, I've got the black laces in them because obviously they're quite stealthy shoe as they are, and I put the lace in these. And to be honest, it kind of sealed the deal for me. Like I've never changed it. I'm just really happy with how these look, and they're a pair that I won't get out for a couple of weeks, and then I'll put them on, and I still love them just as much as I did when I very first bought them. They're just a testament to the colorway, and just what Virgil's done to them. I really like. It's a really smart looking shoe.
Couldn't agree more with you. And I actually, funnily enough, think that is the shoe that brought the hype of the Dunk back, because there wasn't really a resurgence of the Dunk trend. And all of a sudden, I remember seeing that on Insta, and the pictures kind of getting leaked. And I was like, oh my God, Dunks are coming back. I haven't seen a Dunk for years, because I'm a bit of an old school Dunk head, and I've got a load of old Dunks, that silhouette. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, I need to get it. I want all of them. I've got the green and white colorway, which I'm very happy with, so I can't complain. But I would love to complete the set. But the leather on those particularly,
it's incredible. They are incredible. I must admit, I've started scratching these up. They are getting a bit old, and I've worn them religiously. Like I work. Well, I work in Foot Asylum in the footwear department, so I wear my shoes all day, every day. I work 40 hours a week, so my shoes just get destroyed. I don't. It doesn't matter what they are. I wear everything I've got. But I must admit, these are starting to show their age. They just get a bit past it, so I might replace them. I'm thinking about it, but I don't know if I want to bite the bullet quite yet.
Yeah, you got to go for it. See what happens. But it's all about the price. But you actually picked them up at a very good price, considering. I don't know what they're going for at the moment, but I reckon they're getting a lot more than what you paid for them.
Yeah, well, I picked them up. I think it was 2 days after release. So obviously, I got my L's through, and then I stewed out, and I already had the money way in because I kind of knew that I wanted them out already. So
Yeah.
I just did it straight away. Sometimes with the resale market, you have to wait a bit, for the prices to come down. But being an off-white release, I didn't want to risk it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it, with the real sale market? You've got to decide what works and what's best for you financially above everything. But yeah, it does depend. Certain shoes will, literally rise so quickly, and you've got to buy them before they go on the massive increase. But sometimes, it takes a while for a shoe to increase. But no, you did well. It's a great silhouette. And like I said, the quality on those, that leather is so buttery and soft.
I've never had a shoe like it. I must admit, although the next shoe is my favorite shoe, I must admit they are very close. It's a close battle.
So coming on. Let's see your number one. Moving on to the last shoe.
Okay.
Let's see what it is.
So this is a shoe that I know you're gonna love. Being an old school dunkhead, I don't think anyone can deny that this is a grail of a shoe. I can't deny that this shoe just it makes me smile. It's so this is the Nike SB Blue Lobster. This is the blue box release, so it's not the special box concepts release.
Yeah.
But just as amazing, honestly. That I can't explain how it's just so well put together. The interior, I don't know if you can see that with the little blue pan, all the way down to the little metallic swoosh on the side. The
funny thing is, sorry to interrupt you, James. I don't own a pair of lobsters myself, but I've seen quite a few in hand. And until you actually get one in hand, you don't realise the details on it. All those lobster-like materials, like you said, with the different textures and things.
Yeah, well, everything from the little bands on the front, because obviously they come with little claw hooks. So
yeah.
I'm looking again. Do you know the little lace locks with a claw on them?
Yes.
I'm going to go get a set of them. I've just not got around to it quite yet. They also look great with different color laces. So I had the neon laces in these before I put them back into white. So they're just such a versatile and great looking shoe. So I'll tell you why I like these so much. So it was, again, 2019, and I just picked up a couple of pair of Jordans. I'd never owned a dunk. And the Michigan Dunks came out. So I just picked up the Michigan Dunks. I'm pretty sure I was wearing them at the time. And I went into a store called Sneaker 63. It's like Manchester's consignment store.
Yeah.
So can't deny the guys in there are lovely, Jack and Dom. And I struck up a conversation with them, and they just had in a pair of the green lobsters. It was the special box concept limited edition, and he let me hold the box and get them out. And I just fell in love with the shoe, like everything. It was just before Travis wore them, I'm pretty sure, because obviously Travis had on the green lobsters about 2 or 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
So I had them in hand. They were 750 quid, and they were 400 quid on StockX. So what I did was I put in a bid on StockX, and I just waited, and nothing happened. I must have waited for about 2 months on StockX for someone to buy it and buy it, like give me a pair, and just no one would do it. I had the top bid. There was no size 10.5s or 11s going around, so I let it be. I took the L, understood that I wasn't going to get a pair, and just kind of left it. That was it. And then I think I'd actually mentioned it to a few people that I was still looking for a pair, and that was it. I just left it after that. And about 3 months later, someone I'd been mentioning it to shot me a DM and said, I found a pair of blue lobsters in America for about £700. And I was like, I love the lobster concept. And I'd mentioned that the green and blue lobsters were the only two I was looking for, but £700 seemed really, really steep. I've never spent that much on a pair of shoe, and I didn't know if I really fancied spending that kind of money, but I ummed and ahed about it for about 2 weeks, and then I just bit the bullet. I was like, I need them. The way the market's going at the minute with dunks, they're only going up, and I think at that time they were touching a dead stock pair was touching 1,000 and something pounds, and these have been worn once. So I bit the bullet and sent the money out to the guy in America, and he came over. It took about a month to come over. Worst month of my life.
I was about to say, you were so nervous for that whole month.
Yeah,
every day.
So it probably took them about 2 weeks to get to the UK because obviously coronavirus was in force,
And then
and
it's
then
customs for God knows how long, probably.
customs had them, and then I sent off the money to customs, and then the money came back to me, which was like, oh, that's not good. So then I sent customs the money again, and then they got accepted, and then it took them about a week to get from wherever customs was to my house. I got them just in time to go down to the London sneaker meet, which we had in February. So I wore them for the London trip for Urban Syndicate, where we got all the group together. So there's about 35 as we went down, and then that's just why the shoe holds so much sentimentality. It's a shoe. It came from America. I wore it to my first London sneaker meet. I met so many people that you'll know as well, like McGinty's Kicks and Colorblind Kicks, like some great guys. Like you'll they're just a shoe. It's an amazing looking shoe with a great story behind it, and obviously with the people I've met throughout my short time in the sneaker group, it's kind of the shoe that really took me from being a bit of a hype beast, so to say, into more like a sneakerhead who appreciated the silhouette, the colorway, the story behind it, the fact that like you can't just get a shoe, you have to like go hunting for it. So instead of just like buying on StockX, obviously, it took me about 2 months to get the shoe in total. That's like it kind of puts everything into perspective and makes it more of an appreciation. And it's the hunt for a shoe. A lot of people talk about how like they hunted for the grail, and although I didn't hunt for months and months or years and years like you would do in the past, like it still felt like a considerable amount of time. And for that reason alone, like this is like the shoe in my collection. I don't think any shoe will ever compare to this. And if it ever does that, I'll be very surprised.
Amazing. I love it. And like you said, what a great story. So thank you for sharing that with us. And that's what it is about. You know, it is all about there's certain stories, and you know, that shoe means something to you now. You know, you've got the story behind it. There's a lot of memories. You know, yes, you didn't hunt, but there was still the hunt. You still had to find it. You know, a friend got in contact with you. You waited a couple of weeks. Shall I go and spend the money? Shan't I? You know, you had to wait through the whole customs thing. Then it finally came. Then you walked down to London. So forevermore, you're always going to hold those memories and the story behind that shoe, which is what it's all about. And I think you did really well. Look, it's very hard, you know, the whole resale. I've only ever paid twice resale. I'm not a lover of it, like most of us aren't, and it's difficult. The hardest thing I find with dunks when they're £95, £100 RRP, and then you're going to go and have that resale at 700 odd pounds, it can be quite difficult at times.
Well, I've been on the hunt for a couple of pairs, so I bought a couple of other retro dunks from way before my time. So I've got a pair of the 2004 Jazz, which are 4 years after I was born.
Yeah, I've seen your Instagram actually, very nice.
Yeah, so I got a pair of them. Like they're like an absolutely incredible pair. They just missed the list, to be honest. But I must admit, like stuff like that, I can't be grudge painted because obviously like I was never a collector before then.
Yeah, I get that.
I speak to a lot of people who obviously they went to the drops, they missed the drops. Like they don't want to pay the money because obviously they were around at the time and they could have got them. But for me, a lot of the pairs that I've gone back to collect, I haven't really like had the opportunity to go get. So I can't say yay or nay to the resale market. Like I begrudgingly pay it and I enjoy what I get, and I miss a lot of pairs because I don't want to pay resale. So the ones I do pay resale for are obviously the ones that I can't really live without.
Yeah, no, I get that, and I love that. Great stuff. Look, James, thank you so much. That was an amazing top three. Bit of diversity there, some great stories. That's what it's all about. As always on MY3, we finish off with a quick on feet check. So, what have you got on feet today?
So today I have the Biotech Dunk.
Nice.
It goes so well with everything. Being a blue, it's got a bit of blue on it, so obviously went with the blue jumper. Got my green cargos on as well. With go with the green. The reason I got this shoe though was because it's a retro. It was originally released in 2002 under the Code.jp release, wasn't it? The original was like 64 pairs ever made. So obviously when this was released, I couldn't miss out. I took an L as always. You always take the L, don't you? But I don't know if you know him, Lou Earl. He's a scouser who runs a pretty massive Instagram page. He sold them me for £135 a couple of months after release. So he saved me a couple £100 though. So I can't shout out to Lou Earl for the plug on that. I really appreciate it, mate.
Perfect, nice shoe. And my shoe I've got on today is these.
Oh, I've not seen them before.
Yeah, these are a pair of Air Max 90s. They kind of secretly came out towards the end of last year. I'm a big 90s head, and I just love these. There's some great materials, as you can see. It's kind of like this whole compass kind of vibes, and you've got kind of this, you know, weird sort of tag thing which you can take off. Yeah, just a really cool 90.
Oh,
So,
the colours on them are crazy.
yeah, they're pretty cool colours. So that is my shoe for today. So we're going to wrap this up. James, you've been an absolute legend. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for sharing your top three and your stories. I'm sure everyone is going to be looking forward to watching this. We are going to finish off by saying we're going to be back for some more episodes of MY3. Do not forget to like, subscribe and comment. Turn on your notifications. So I think that's pretty much about everything. So thanks for watching, and we will see you again for another episode of MY3.